But anyway, how you been? You been all right?
I'm all right, brother. I'm all right. I'm good, bruv. I've had a busy day today. Trust.
Yeah, same.
I went to get my hair cut. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. And I think today I've only had probably just a roll. Like, when you're just working. You I'm not saying I forgot to eat, but yeah, it was a busy one today.
You taking a break? Eating and everything?
No.
Nah, you need to, man. Come on.
Yeah,
man.
I'm hungry, bro.
Not in this line of work, man.
But you know what happened today actually goes into what we're going to be talking about today. Like self-care and well-being.
Yeah,
and
no,
all
100.
And all them things there. So, but how you doing though, man? Is everything all right?
Nah, do you know what? I'm good, yeah, but we are dealing with like a staffing issue at the moment, isn't it? So I had a couple of resignations.
Oh,
a couple
man.
of people are going because you know what? It goes into what we're actually going to talk about.
Yeah.
Burnout.
Bro.
Like how deep this thing is.
Yeah. Burnout. Do you want to start? Shall I start?
Yeah, no. Do you know what? Yeah. So I mean, I think in our line of work, burnout it's a real issue. It is a real issue. I know across the country, a lot of social workers are absolutely shattered and tired. I mean, a lot of people were even speaking to me yesterday about how they're feeling, and everyone's pretty much exhausted. I mean, I remember at one stage where, and bruv, this is no cap here. I had a caseload. My caseload about 3-4 years ago, I had 40 children. 40 children. I had 8 of those children were, there was a court cases, and the other 32 were all child protection cases. Yeah, literally all child protection. And imagine like you're working long hours, you don't really have time for breaks, you're doing late home visits, you're doing early morning home visits, and it's draining. It really, really is draining. And then on top of that, you've got to obviously give a service out to the families that you're working with. But it's kind of like, because like your tray, as a social worker, it's like your tray is never empty. Your tray is always full. But this burnout thing is a very, very, very big problem. It is. I think across the board, it can make you sick. I've known social workers who actually, they've gone off sick because they're working way too hard. Just trying to meet timescales, trying to see children, trying to work with families, and never even taking time for themselves, man.
Yeah. All right. Before I reply, people welcome to another episode of The Social Worker and the Mentor.
Guys, I'm so sorry, man. Literally, man.
Yeah, I mean, man's eager beaver today, What episode is this?
4, innit?
Episode 4. All right. So going back to what, or rather me replying to what you said just now. Yeah. So I felt that this was a very important episode for us to do. I think it's a necessity.
Yeah, it is.
I'm actually going to talk about my own personal experience, and I just want to just like share with other professionals, because I feel like switching off can be very difficult. Yeah. I'm going to be honest with you. I blame COVID to a degree because it just changed my mentality of work. Yeah. And not being able to switch off. And it's difficult to switch off because you want to produce the work. Yeah, you do. You want to make sure that you're on top of your caseload. Yeah. So you're managing it. You also want to make sure that, you're providing a service for the young people and the families that you're working with. Yeah. But then what about me? What about me? Who's looking after me? And then it comes down to the fact that if I'm not good, what good am I? So I suppose what I want to discuss with you today, or we should be discussing today, is the dangers of burnout, the negative impact it has on us in the long run as professionals. Yeah. And well-being and mental health is no joke out here, bro. Yeah, no, Rob, I agree with you, because I think even like in my current role at the moment, I mean, I've mentioned about people have they've resigned. As a manager, I have a duty of care for the staff that I supervise. And as you said, when you're not at 100%, you can't actually do good work. And then on top of that, that's where actually mistakes are made. And I do agree with you. I think like even pre-pandemic, to be honest with you, I think burnout was still very much an issue anyway. But then within the pandemic, and then we've kind of exited out of it, it's still very much an issue, because what we're now dealing with now is we're kind of absorbing the pressure of the pandemic and then the issues that are compounded by that. Do you know what I mean? And then obviously there's a need in terms of that you've got to do your work, you have to see the families, there's performance, but then like what about us as professionals as well? Because at the end of the day, like
I spoke to a social worker yesterday, and she was kind of saying to me how she didn't finish work until 2:30 in the morning. 2:30 in the morning. And I've had my own experiences. I remember a while back, I started work at 9 o'clock. It was on a Thursday. Yeah. And it was to see a young person, like late. So I worked the whole of Thursday. Then the Friday, early hours of the Friday morning, I went to go and see that young person at 3 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. And then I left at 5 o'clock in the morning. No, 6 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
Got home at 7.
Yeah.
I only had an hour's sleep and I still logged on the following at 9 o'clock on the Friday.
Dedication.
Yeah, it is dedication, bro. But at the same time, like,
and you're a professional.
Bro, I'm professional, but I'm also tired. Like, even in social work. So if you're a social worker and you're working in children, they normally go and say that if you do child protection, they say don't stay in it for longer than 2 years. The reason why, because the burnout phase for frontline child protection
100%.
is 2 years.
Yeah.
So even me, I don't know how I've been in it for 8 years. I actually don't know how I've done it for this long, to be honest with you. Because Rob, I'll be honest with you, even in my current role right now, like, even as a manager, I don't log off at 5 o'clock. Do you know what I'm trying to say to you?
I don't think no one does really.
Nobody logs off at 5 o'clock.
Yeah. So, do you know, let me come in here, and I think this is important. I suppose I'm going to ask you a generic question or questions that all social workers can relate to, because I do think this is very important, right? So a social worker's job entails in having a heavy caseload. Am I right in saying that? Yeah, it does. But but it will also depend on I think as you go up higher up the chain, but I mean, every single social worker, you will have a heavy caseload, but I mean, as you go up the chain, you might have a bit more complex, but I'm not gonna say, that doesn't dismiss it. Like, every single social worker, regardless of your level, you all have high caseloads. It might be dependent on where you're, but the caseloads are generally quite high. One of the things that put me off, I'm going to be honest with you, that stopped me from officially being a social worker. But then I just think, I'm actually doing the role. I'm actually doing the role right now. Yeah, because you know what? I'm actually doing the role right now. We're on the 4th episode. I've actually asked you why you don't want to qualify. So I'm gonna stick it on you right now. Okay, all right. Okay. Forget about the stigma. Yeah. But is it genuinely that you feel if you became a social worker, is it the paperwork, or is it like the fear of, actually, you know what, the thing is, I'm gonna drown in? No, all right. I'll tell you what it is. I can do the job. I believe in me. Confidence. No. Yeah, I can do the job. But this is what sort of it made me rethink it. I have a lot of social worker friends, associates, work colleagues that I work with, okay? And I was an engagement mentor for an ASD EBD school for 8.5 years, okay, all right? In that school, I've done teaching, I've done, you know, loads of different levels of responsibilities, you know, in that role. So I'm the sort of person professionally, if I don't feel that I'm progressing, I get itchy feet. You know, I want to progress. So I want to go to the next level or do something else. I want to challenge myself. And I thought, social work. But one of the things that I kept hearing was caseload. Yeah. And everyone was looking grumpy. I'm thinking, why are you looking so grumpy for? Fix up, man. Right? Fix up, cheer up. Yeah, have a drink, have a Kit Kat. Yeah. But then I thought, whoa, for me to like keep hearing this all the time, it must be really intense. And it's not until I started a new role, I began to work with social workers on a day-to-day basis, working alongside them daily and weekly on cases. And I thought, whoa, I get it now. Do you understand? So the thing for me is I can do the job, but I'm going to be honest with you, like, I just hate paperwork. I can't take the paper. It's a lot. Because I'll tell you what it is. I'm a very hands-on person. I'm very hands-on. And I think to a degree, yes, I know we've got to write reports, you know, there's data protection, there's safeguarding, there's all of the above, you know, that social workers know. But it's I'm not a university, right? Yeah, I'm not a school. But at the same time as well, the paperwork, it can be very demanding. Yeah. And I think with the demand of the paperwork, it actually stops you from actually doing your daily work with the family. Yeah, it does take you away from it. It takes you away from that. Yeah. That's the issue that I have, right? Yeah. But guess what? I am going to like actually look into it. I'm going to do it because as I said before, I'm doing it right now. I've got a case of about 30 young people that I'm working with.
Well, that's what I'm saying, Rob, because I think for me, why I say that is because I've always known you that you can do the role, innit?
Yeah.
And I think that the being a social worker or having the degree, it's just going to add to your skill set.
Oh, 100%.
But I do understand where you're coming from, that actually, when it comes to the work itself, I won't lie to you. The paperwork is very much, it's a lot of work that you have to deal with. Then also, on top of that, you have to go and see the families. Now, when you've got a massive caseload of, say, 40 children, you know, how is it you expect social workers to perform? I mean, even like when our team came off duty about 4 weeks ago, we're going to be going on duty in the next 2 weeks. And social workers' caseloads are in their mid-30s. Yeah. And that's really, really tough, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And, you know, many of them have spoken to me and said, Nana, listen, you know what? Like this assessment, like it's well out of time, but I just can't do it. The bank holiday weekend that just went, some social workers were working on Thursday and the Friday, Thursday and the Friday, the Saturday and the Sunday. And then, you know, they come back and I said to them, you know, how are you feeling? And they're deflated. As a manager, I know that the work needs to be done and families need to be seen.
But why are they deflated? Because guess what? It's not they're going to see the families, it's the paperwork.
Bruv, it's the paperwork. But Rob, it's the paperwork. It's the paperwork, it's the long hours, it's the traveling, all those things. And also, don't forget, because we were in lockdown for 2 years as well, and it's like getting up in the mornings wasn't like how it used to be pre-pandemic. So it's all those things. It's the traveling, it's the getting up, it's the paperwork, it's the long hours.
And also, I suppose, dealing with cases that are mentally and emotionally draining.
Bruv, I'm so happy you said that. There's cases that absolutely drain social workers, and I don't mean that to be in the sense that we're drained, but I'm saying, but it take a physical toll and a mental toll on social workers. And you know what? I mean, during one thing that we don't really talk about when you talk about burnout is within local authorities, they actually have, say, like counselling services they have occupational health.
I'm glad you
for
said
social work, because you have to have that, because if a social worker is getting run and burnt out, it becomes a health issue.
I want to ask you a question, okay? Because you've mentioned a great, fantastic point just now about occupational health. I feel I know as a man, we're men, okay?
Yeah.
And as men, you know, there's this stigma that it's getting better. Don't get me wrong, it's getting better. But there's a stigma as men that, you know, if you say that you're going through a rough time, you're like, people look at you as weak, or you're not a man, or you're not that guy, or they just think, oh yeah, he's not ready. But it's actually a great thing, and I do believe it's good to talk about these things. Yeah, because for me, I do feel there's a lot of pride in maybe why there's not a lot of men that don't go to occupational health. Yeah, but they rather deal with it by talking to maybe their partner or their close friends. Yeah, exactly. But sometimes you need that real good professional help to say that. You do, because end of the day, even though we are professionals, even though we are trying to give a service out to family, at the same time, we also need an outlet. One of the things I will say to a lot of social workers is that if you feel as though you need to go to occupational health or you need to go to the in-house counselling because of how you're feeling about work, do so. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. You know, because you need to be able to have that space to talk about it. And I've always gone and said to social workers that at the same time, your health is also important as well. Yeah. You know, because you going off sick, for me, I'd feel as though I've let you down. Like I'll give you an example. So there was a social worker who who I previously supervised, who had health issues, which was impacting upon his work, and he was always tired. Okay. But the thing is that he didn't actually tell me that he had a health issue. Right. And so when I found out about it, is that pride?
It is a bit of a pride thing. Like it's a pride thing. Definitely is a pride thing. But he didn't actually tell me that he had a health issue. So it was really kind of impacting in terms of his work. And sometimes a lot of things were going out of time. Like some visits weren't being written up. Assessments, I was like, what's going on? But I was always asking him in supervision, like, what's actually going on? So it wasn't until later that he said to me, oh, I've actually got a health issue with my heart. And I said to him, look, oh dear, wow. Look, this line of work that we're doing, is very, very hard, and you're in frontline child protection. One, you've got a health issue, and two, you're burnt out. As your manager, you need to have told me this straight away. So I said to him, what you need to be doing is every single month, I don't care, you're gonna book in. You're gonna book in 2 days off in a month.
Yeah.
That's what you're gonna do, or a bit more. I know normally they say, as many as you need, but I said you're gonna book in 2 days off in a month. Because bearing in mind, he's not a permanent, so he was agency. But I said to him, look, you're gonna book off 2 days off in a month. I said, when you go to the GP, when we do supervision, I'm going to be checking in on you in terms of your well-being. I'm going to ask you what your GP has said. I'm going to need like report, because end of the day, bro, like I said, with this job, I don't want a situation whereby any social worker who I'm line managing goes off sick, and actually it's the fact that, you know what, as your manager, I've pushed you too hard. And I've always said, social workers, if you are burnt out, for me, tell me. If you need to take annual leave, tell me. Because end of the day, you have a duty to the families, but you have a duty to yourself as well.
All right, so let's look at this from an angle, a generic angle. For social workers and also for educational professionals, whether you're a school teacher, a counsellor, a mentor, you work for CAMS.
I was going to ask you that as well, about
ASD,
education.
Whether or not, right? But this is, because I do believe this really has to be looked at in a specific way. I know as an educational professional, I know that I'm going to be dealing with some hard to reach young people and families. As a social worker is supposed to know they're going to be dealing with some tough cases, you know. Right? Now, they might be a young person, piss off. Go suck out your mother. Real abusive language coming out of their mouth. That's just really, offensive. Now, if you're not mentally strong out here to deal with that, you're in the wrong job, you know. So I suppose what I'm asking you, and what I think is kind of good to discuss as well, is that we have to be aware and know that we're in a job it's a tough job. And you've got to be a tough cookie. You can't be weak out here. You've got to be tough, right? So I suppose to a degree, well-being and looking after ourselves mentally and emotionally is very, very important for this job. I mean, for me, you're going to laugh at me, right? So I go gym in the morning, right?
Same gym,
but that's my preparation. Because I'm starting the day strong. I feel nice.
That's my outlet as well, man.
You understand? It's therapy, isn't it?
It's therapy.
It's therapy, right? So in the morning now, I go gym, start my day, boom, have to oatmeal, apples, bananas, might do 10 press-ups or whatever, whatnot, and then I'm ready for the day. But with me, I go into role. I go into role. And the role I'm in, I go into my role. So I'm not Robert, I go into my role as a professional, right? Right? And another thing that I don't take things personally. I used to take things quite personal, but I don't even take it personally no more. I just go with the flow, making sure that I make the right decisions as a professional, for the benefit. Sometimes I've got to make ruthless decisions that's going to have positive outcomes for the child and for the family, It's all about me helping a young person. When I reflect on my day, I look at my book, what was a success? What could you have done better? And then I switch off. But guess what? It wasn't always that way. All right. Without me going on, right? Let me just tell you my experience, right? And then let you carry on, okay? Or did you want to carry on?
No. I think people need to hear from you as well. Definitely.
All right. So, probably March and April. I just wasn't feeling myself. And anyone that knows me, I'm a very happy-go-lucky guy. I'm quite, I like to motivate people. Like good energy. I'm a happy-go-lucky person. And I just wasn't myself. And sometimes you'll look at a person and think they're okay, but I wasn't okay. And sometimes you're just working. And then what was starting to happen, I was starting to sort of like neglect me. Not training as much, stop going to the gym. I found it really difficult to get up early. Sometimes the alarm's going off, I'm sitting down on my bed and 5 minutes has gone by, 10 minutes has gone by, 20 minutes has gone by. I'm still in the same spot. I'm thinking, right.
Because you weren't thinking about you.
Because I wasn't thinking about me. But you know what though, bruv? It got to the point, I had no control over my body. I lost motivation.
Robotic, innit?
Right. And then also as well, I was beginning to start, I'm looking at my job as a as a chore, and it's like the motivation into doing the role.
You weren't enjoying it.
Yeah, I wasn't enjoying it.
Yeah.
And then also as well, I'm starting to get, impatient.
You're getting snappy, innit?
Snappy.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, wow, this is not me enough. I'm thinking, now what's going on?
Yeah.
And then one day now, listen, I was like, I just had a headache one day, and then my eye just kept hurting me. I was thinking, right, what's wrong with my eye? And then I must have sent you a picture. Do you remember my eye?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Listen, I'm never gonna lie to you, right? Yeah, you would have thought
man was a Hulk, bruv.
You would have thought I was in a boxing match with Mike Tyson. Yeah, the eye was big.
Yeah,
big. Francis, you remember?
Yeah.
Hey, the eye was no joke.
I thought man looked like the Hulk, you know.
Listen, the eye was no joke. No joke. Now listen, yeah, the eye was mad.
I thought he got banged up, you know. I'm not gonna lie.
That's what bare people thought.
Yeah.
Like man was like, what girl did you move to? And like, what? Like, I was like, nah. It wasn't that.
Yeah.
But literally, like on a real, right? I literally just woke up with a banging headache, and then gradually, my right eye just became bigger.
It became
and
inflamed.
Bigger, inflamed.
Was it stress related though?
They said it was an allergic reaction.
Okay.
But I was like, what are you talking about? And then I just went through my sort of like routine. And I didn't remember eating anything or having anything that I was allergic to.
Yeah.
But then I just thought at that time I wasn't being myself. I wasn't being happy.
Yeah.
I was tired. To be honest with you, it was burnout.
Yeah, it was.
And fatigue as well.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. And then I just said to myself, you see all these long hours of like 10:30. Oh, Robert. All the youths ringing me all hours of the night time.
Yeah.
Me, still working till like 11, 12 o'clock, whatever, whatnot. Sundays, when it's the weekend, I should be just chilling or going out with my people.
But you was locked on.
Sunday morning, I'm waking up at like 6 o'clock.
Yeah, bruv, it's not. Do you know what it is?
Like,
what you just said, it's not. It's when you deep it, yeah. This is why, like, I'm kind of happy when I really want people when they're watching these professionals, because when you deep this thing, it's actually burnout's actually really deep. You know,
It's not a joke.
Because I remember, bruv, I'll tell you what. When I first qualified as a social worker. The first couple of years or so, I was just working. I didn't travel. I'd be that social worker. I'd come in 9 o'clock in the morning, and then I would go and do a home visit 7, 8 o'clock, go back to the office, and then do work, and then leave at 9 o'clock, to the point that like my colleagues started to pick up on it and saying to me, Nana, like, all you do is work. Like, you're young as well. Like, all you're doing is working. Like, even like on the weekends, I wasn't going out on the weekends. I would log on, like, do my write-ups.
Nah.
And my colleagues were like, nah, Nana, you know what? You're young, go and travel.
Yeah.
So I started traveling, because I just felt, you know, with this job, I want to be on top of it so much. I was even like answering my phone after 7, 8 o'clock. Do you know what I mean? And then eventually, not that it caught up to me, but then I did start to get very much tired. And then obviously when I took annual leave and took my toil, it started to subsidize.
Yeah.
But bruv, I was absolutely knackered. And to be honest with you, it's quite dangerous what I was doing. So I would always say to any social worker, or, you know, if you go into this role, you very much have to be very much boundaried with your time, because for you to be at 100%, for the families that you're working with, you got to make sure that you're balanced, because it can't all just be work. But I think also on top of that, because of the amount of work that we have, you're using like your weekends and your annual leave to stay on top of work. Yeah. But bruv, your tray is never empty.
And you know, I want to counter reply to that and add to that, because Nana, you said that absolutely fantastic point. Female social workers, all right. And what I mean by this is like, go and get your hair done, do your nails, do your toenails.
Yeah, because you have to.
Like, go out, put 2 dresses on. Like, put the lipstick on. Go out to raving or dancing. Go to the cinema. Like, feel good. It's important, like, for you. The man them, male practitioners and social workers.
In education, you have to.
Get your hair trim. Yeah.
Travel. Go gym.
Go gym. Look after you.
You have to.
Right, And listen, you see all this like Saturday and Wednesday night, man's on the laptop at 11 o'clock. No. Log off. Even like your weekends are your weekends. It's your weekend. Very important.
Like if you've got someone that you're with, because Do you know what I mean? Like, let's invest your time.
Yeah.
Because Rob, even when you mentioned earlier about mental health.
Yeah.
One thing you said in terms of like mental health, in terms of like when you're working with families, and you got to be mentally strong as well, because burnout is not just physical, it's mental as well. So that's why I refer to what I said in the last episode about how you even got to take on negative stigma. All of that impacts upon your mental and your physical well-being.
Do you know what, right? Yeah, that's very interesting what you said. So, as a social worker, because I know as a practitioner myself, okay, my caseload, and I don't know how you feel about your caseload, and I think you're going to tell me a similar thing. I feel I owe it to my caseload for me to help them. Yeah.
Exactly the same thing. That's exactly the same thing. My
caseload. So when they ring me, it's like I'm a savior. Ring Robert.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Ring that teacher. Or ring that practitioner.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
No, you do.
So you're actually a big part of their family setup.
Yeah.
Sometimes without us even knowing,
Yeah.
And it's almost like, because for me, I want to perform at a high level. Yeah. I don't want to cut corners. I want to provide high level
fully
performance and work.
And that's the reason why, despite what a lot of people feel about social workers in general, the reason why burnout happens is because social workers or practitioners, they want to go above and beyond. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Hence why, forget about the write-ups, but hence why you work late, you do you go, because you want to go above and beyond. Do you know what I'm saying? But
that's important though.
Yeah, but you have to. Yeah. And I'll say for any person who goes into this kind of role, you have to push yourself. But at the same time, one of the things is that push yourself too hard, it's like a flame. That's it, you're out. Do you know what I'm trying to say to you? But I always felt what you felt, that, I owe it to the case though. So those 40 children that I had, I thought, you know what, I owe it to my caseload. I owe it to all of you to give you the best service. So if I've got to work late, if I've got to do this, if I've got to make this referral, if I've got to come see you late at night, I'll go and do it. I mean, that young person I told you I went to go and see at 3 o'clock early in the morning. Do you know what I'm saying?
That's raving hours.
Yeah, it is. But the thing is, because I'm passionate about what I do. Do you know what I'm saying? Very passionate about what I do. I was like, you know what? I owe it. I'm going to go and see you 3 o'clock in the morning. But then I'll say to another social worker, don't do what I've done.
So what? This is the key now, okay? Yeah. Because I think you've actually said another absolutely fantastic point. Oh, Nana's on a run, he's mentioning bare gems, He's on a run, boy.
Nah, got to.
Ding, ding.
Hey, listen, big man thing, yeah. Nah, got to, man.
There should be bell here, ding, ding.
Yeah, trust me.
Nana's done it again.
Listen. Hey,
ding, ding.
Hey, listen, before I came here, I was ready, innit? I told you. I said, listen, just be prepared. Listen, I said, I'm coming.
Nah, you know what?
Listen, I'm coming.
It's the lip gloss.
Trust me. Now listen, I told you, I said, listen, Nana's come. I said, I am ready. I'm ready. Telling you, telling you, man. I told you I'm ready. Listen, how much jollof rice and chicken? I said I was ready, bro. Told you I was ready to come with the thing, bro. I'm telling you. But go on.
I was ready, but great point. So you said the word passion. You said just now.
Yeah.
I think at times that's what actually lets us down as professionals, because we're so passionate about our job.
Our kryptonite.
We're so passionate to wanting to do well, to perform well, to make a change and make a difference.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that's probably letting us down. Yeah. And that makes us have burnout and not look after ourselves.
It is. And it's like I said, it's kryptonite, innit? Do you know what I'm trying to say? To us, because you want to do so much. You want to support family so much. But then, bruv, you get tired and you can't. Bro, let me give you a stat, 4,500 social workers from September last year till now have left the profession.
Why is that?
So obviously, yes, the caseloads, everything, but burnout is also part of it as well. A lot of social workers are like, you know what? I can't do this no more.
Yeah.
I'm too tired. Bruv, I even deep it. There's even social workers who are parents. One of the things, as a manager, what I do, say for example, duty and all those sorts of things. When I get to know social workers, not that I'm trying to be private, but their family circumstances. So someone goes, "Oh, I've got children."
That's very important, isn't it?
And at once some social worker saying to me, "Nana, listen, you know what? In terms of my time, I'm not even seeing enough. I'm not even getting to see my children. I'm coming home late and they're asleep." So for me, it's how does that make me feel? Do you know what I'm saying? Because they're also parents as well. So it's what I've tried to do is create a balance. So some might say, you know, Nana, I can't be in the office this day because I've got childcare responsibilities or all those sorts of things. So I'm very much balanced because I understand,
which is very important.
I understand that they have a life as well. They've got family life as well. Do you know what I'm saying? But someone's saying to me, listen, I'm not coming home late. I'm not seeing my children. I'm missing like rehearsals and all those sorts of things, like key things for their own children. Or Nana, I'm tired. Nana, I need this time off and everything and all that. And I'm like, no, you know what? Like sometimes common sense has to prevail. Duty of care, like I've got to use common sense as well. Do you know what I'm saying?
Key thing. I mean, one of the things you said just now, 2 points you made. First point. Do you feel under pressure? I mean, how do you, because that's another pressure as well. As a team leader, okay, all right. When someone says to you, I'm a social worker, I've got children, I've missed Timmy's school play, or I couldn't go to their football match, whatever, whatnot. So, obviously, because you're a social worker, we work with families, so so we know the importance of still being a parent or still being a father, whatever, whatnot. So, is that what sort of pressure is that in getting that balance right? In you being a team leader and then giving them that advice that you would probably give to one of your caseloads.
Yes, I mean, to be honest with you, for me, Rob, in terms of like the pressure, I guess for me, as a manager, one thing as a manager you have to think about is about not just the work, but the duty of care that you have for your staff. So I have an understanding of how social workers may feel if their work life is impacted upon their personal life. Do you know what I'm saying?
Is it noticeable? Sometimes.
When I have supervision with the social workers, I'd speak to them and I ask them about, because supervision is not just about your cases, but it's about your personal welfare. And I always ask, how are you? How's your personal welfare?
First and foremost,
How's your mental health? You know, how's work-life balance? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And some say to me, actually, you know what? I haven't got the balance right. I need this Friday off. The workload is too much. I'm actually really struggling. So I always go and say, so, you know, what can I do? Because as a manager, I'm not always going to get it correct. But in terms of duty to safeguard you as a social worker, I'll always ask and say, so what is it that I can do in terms of your caseload? Does your caseload need to drop? Sometimes even me, I still go out. If so, like I'm a one social worker whereby she had a family emergency, and I think all social workers were up to capacity. So they were like, "Oh, who's going to go out and do this?" I said, "I'll do it. It's fine." Like I'm not removed from the ground, so I have no issue going and supporting social workers, going out and doing visits. Yeah. You know, I've done that in my role anyway. I do that in my role anyway. Some managers are like, "Nah, you know what? I've done my time on the front line." But for me, like I'm not detached from the ground, so I've got no issue still seeing young people, supporting, doing duty, because I understand that in my position, whereby I don't have to go out as I used to because I've progressed. Yeah. At the same time, I have a duty to support my staff the same way. So if social workers do come to me and say, Nana, you know what, I'm struggling, I'll say to them, okay, let's look at your annual leave. How much toil do you have? I'm looking at the duty rota. What day is more suitable for you? Because there has to be that discretion. Yeah. I can't be a manager who's draconian and excessive and say to you, you can't have time off. This needs to be done ABC 1, 2, 3.
Hey, listen, all right. Once again, I've got many social worker associates and friendship groups that work for different local authorities in different boroughs, okay? Now, one thing you know, different boroughs and there's different managers. Yeah. I've heard of some nightmare managers. Yeah, bruv, drop it like it's hot, man. Tell the truth,
bruv. You get it. I'll tell you what. You get some managers who are that they have no sense of duty of care. Yeah. They're like, why is this out of time? Yeah, listen, this. You can't be like that. I'm sorry.
Right, you can't be.
You can't.
And another thing as well, we've gone through a very tough time. Yeah. In the last 2.5 years. Yeah. Okay. All right. Now, COVID has been difficult for every professional, right? Yeah. Yep. And I know for a social worker, YOS, the practitioners, the schools, especially in our field,
even health,
right? Yeah. But it was difficult as a professional to perform our job at the level that we could. Yeah. We couldn't provide that level as before, so we had to accommodate to a certain degree. Okay.
We did, yeah.
All right. So I think what's quite important, you know, as we get nearer the end of this session, okay, is why should we get the balance right, and how do we get the balance right? Because I think what it is, there's a lot of social workers that are going through it, you know. bruv. No, real talk. There's a lot.
There is.
They're game for it.
There is.
You know, listen, 2 weeks ago, last week, I had a friend. She's crying on the phone.
You told me. Yeah, she wrote down. Yeah.
She's like, I can't do this no more. Because what do you mean? She said, it's the traveling. I'm not seeing my daughter. And I'm like, right.
Yeah.
And, like, it made me feel away. I'm like, oh, man, I go, don't cry, man. Come on, man. It's going to be all right and everything. And as I said before, you know, for almost 2 years, I mean, I haven't been away on holiday. You know, I'm going on holiday this year.
Yeah.
See, going away, the importance of going away. And it doesn't have to be on the beach. It could be going to like Wales or Cardiff or just out of London. You know, just it's important that we
even a spa.
Spa. Yeah. It's so important. And working from home now, that's a new thing now as well. So sometimes we get into a routine of in the house. Sometimes turn off the laptop, go for a walk on the block.
You know what? What you just said, important. You know what? Sorry, because what you just said, even working from home, although working from home, you know, I think the hybrid working is good. A lot of social workers are still working well past the hours. But, do you know what I mean? And some of them are not like, they're not eating, they're still logged on. Do you know what I'm saying? So I think for me, one of the, not advice, but I think if you're in a management position or if you're in, say, a senior leadership position, and whether that's education, whether that's in children's services, you have to exercise a level of balance. I'm always going to appreciate and understand that from management perspective, that the work needs to be done. We need to make sure social workers perform.
100%.
Children need to be seen. Families need to be supported. But at the same time, if the social workers and those on the ground are not 100% in terms of their health and also their physical health 100%. And their mental health,
100%.
Yeah, you have to be accommodating. You have to be accommodating to that. Otherwise, more social workers are going to leave. As I said earlier, 4,500 have left the profession and are not turning back. I've had a lot of social workers, Rob, even saying to me, Nana, you know what? Local authority is not... Bruv, even me, I know long term, frontline child protection, even going into like where I'm at right now, I even know long term, I'm even saying it out loud, I don't know how much longer I've actually got in doing frontline child protection, to be honest with you. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, obviously, I'm still going to do it, but I know like my time, because of the work that I've done, I'm looking at other avenues.
Let me ask you a question.
You know what I mean?
So, and social workers will know this. So, there's working for the local authority, or there's working for an agency, you know, an agency, yeah. What is the difference in between caseload, or do you get the same amount of caseloads whether you work for the local authority or whether you work for an agency? So if you work for, so what it is, so in terms of agency and permanent, so if you work for a local authority, social workers, there's those who are permanent and those who are agency. What it is, agency social workers tend to have what do you call it? Their cases, I'm not going to say it's higher, but it might be, the difference is potentially pay. Okay, the pay potentially is different to what to do. But with agency, though the pay is higher, agency don't get paid. If they're off work, whereas permanent you do. Yes, if you're agency, you work. So you work. And you get, I'm talking more so caseloads. So caseload can roughly be about the same, or could be higher. Okay, right, so if you've got social workers agency and permanent, they might have the same cases. So it might be just as high or just as low. It's depending on your local authority and the types of cases that you have. Do you know what I mean? Well, listen, bruv, we've had a fantastic... This is a fantastic absolutely, one. And I mean, I just want to end this session just saying to all the social workers and all the educational professionals, please, I'm begging you, I'm demanding, please. It's so important to take care of yourself. It is, look after yourself, get sleep, get rest, eat properly, go for walks. It's okay to cry every now and then. Talk to a friend, talk to a work colleague. As Nana said, there's occupational health, there's counsellors. There is. You know, please just take care of yourself. But burnout's no joke. Anybody who's watching this as well, burnout is 100% a real issue. But for you to give the best to your families, you have to be 100%. So what Robert has said, utilize the services that are there, the counselling, go out, see your friends, go on holiday, take your annual leave, go on toil. And to be honest with you, for social workers who've left the profession, do you know what I mean? Everybody has to make a decision for themselves. If you feel it's not right for you,
once you've done your time in social work, you can leave. You're making a decision based on your circumstances, and that's it, really.
That's it. Yeah,
but guys, thank you very much, man.
Big.
Big.
Later. Nice.
Yes.